Hey everyone, you're listening to Nerd Boys Comics. I'm Marco.
And I'm Andrea.
And today we're doing a quick overview and review and topic about Ant-Man and the Wasp. We're talking about the movie, we're talking about everything that we liked, didn't like. Not really much that we didn't like. I think it was a pretty standard Marvel movie, and one of the bests of the year.
For me, yeah.
Yeah, because Ant-Man is Andrea's favorite Marvel movie.
Yep.
Why do you like Ant-Man so much?
I don't know, because it's a very laid-back character. It's like you don't have to work too hard. He's just a person that gets in trouble a lot and has a lot of jokes. Actual movie that can have jokes, not like Thor.
Yeah, I still think Thor Ragnarok is the funniest MCU movie.
I'm not denying that it's the funniest. It just shouldn't be that consistent with jokes.
It shouldn't be so heavy with jokes.
Yes, it was like layered with jokes. It's like, where is the plot?
Yeah. Because other Thor movies are pretty action-packed, kind of, but then this one was... I like Thor Ragnarok still. I think it was hilarious. I think it was...
It's one of the best Thor movies.
It's the best Thor movie, actually. I think so. I think it's the best.
Okay, but still not my favorite.
Okay. But Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Is my favorite.
Is your favorite?
No.
Of all of them?
Well, yeah. Because before I always rate, like, Guardians and Ant-Man as, like, the top ones... Ant-Man and the Wasp is pretty good for me. It was filled with action. It had a young Cassie, because that's the cutest thing ever to me. It has jokes all over the place. Luis is my favorite thing, too, in it. Oh, my God. The cop that's doing all of Scott Lang's, like...
Oh, the FBI guy?
Yeah. Oh, my God. I forgot his name, and I was just, like, looking at his name right now.
Yeah, he's the guy from Fresh Off the Boat.
Yeah. He's... freaking hilarious.
Him and Scott just be like, I'll see you later. It's like, when? When will you see me? It's like...
Are you taking me out somewhere?
It's like, no, I'm going to arrest you. Oh, I thought you were going to take me to dinner. Do you want to go to dinner?
No.
No, wait, but where? Where were you thinking of going?
Yeah. But, yeah, like, it has a lot of good things. And then I like Hope, too. So seeing her again was pretty cool.
Yeah. And with longer hair this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which... I got really confused for a little while.
Were you confused with the wig? Or because she looks like Bryce Dallas Howard?
She looks like the girl from Jurassic World.
Yeah, she does. Especially with, like, the shorter hair.
Yeah. I got confused for a little while, and I was like, wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
You, like, snuck up on me and were like, hey, is that the same girl?
Oh my God. So, my favorite part of this entire movie was Luis explaining things after he gets, like, a truth serum.
Oh, yeah. The truth serum was probably the best part. Well, no, not the best part. The best Luis part from both movies was, like, the truth serum.
Yeah. That was hilarious.
Yeah. I think if Marvel paid Michael Pena to explain, like, the past 20 Marvel movies, like, right before Infinity War or not Infinity War, but Avengers 4.
They should start Ant-Man and Wasp 2 that way.
Yeah.
It's like let me explain.
Oh yeah. Previously on Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Well, it wouldn't be 3 because there was Ant-Man standalone and then now it's Ant-Man and Wasp, so it would have to be Ant-Man and Wasp 2.
Or Ant-Man, Wasp, and Stature.
Or just Wasp.
Or very good point. Or it could be like
and Luis is like explaining Wasp's like backstory.
Or it could be like Ant-Man.
Or it derails to like all of what's been going on within Infinity War.
Yeah. So there's this big dude, Thanos. Wait, is Luis dead?
No, I didn't see him disappear.
I know. But we only got to see 3 people disappear.
Yeah, that's it. That's
or
true.
Or if it's balanced, kind of, it would be like the 3 ex-cons would live and the 3 scientists would die.
Yeah.
If it's like that, I guess.
Yeah.
Because it seems pretty balanced with the franchises, like these many people lived and these many people died.
Mm-hmm.
Except for Guardians, like everyone died except for Rocket. Do you want to get into the story? Do you want to get into what happened? Not like the entire plot, just like what, for someone who hasn't seen the movie yet but is on the fence about whether or not they want to see it.
I hope nobody's on the fence. It looks great in the trailer.
Yeah. But if you've avoided all trailers, we're just pretty much going to talk about what's
Which I
in there.
did until like I finished watching the movie. Then I just watched all the trailers.
It's funny because I kind of did the same thing and I was like, wow, there's like we saw the first 2 trailers, or at least I did.
I only watched the first trailer and that was it. I didn't want to watch. Like, I could hear you watching them and I was like, nope.
Yeah. I think, like, the second trailer shows a lot of the big third act of the movie, except for the quantum realm stuff.
Yeah.
Because there's the whole side of that it's actually interesting. Like, apparently Kevin Feige says the quantum realm is like the key to the future of the MCU. Like how space from Guardians of the Galaxy was like all of phase 2 and most of phase 3. Now like the quantum realm is like the next phase of Marvel. It's gonna be like timelines and the multiverse and like different areas of space and reality. It's kind of like how Star Wars was going to be, because Star Wars in the third trilogy, if Lucas was doing it, it was going to go small, like in a microverse.
So it's just a little piece of the bigger piece?
Yeah, because like in Star Wars, they're always like out in space, and then Lucas wanted to go like tiny. He wanted to go inside like molecule. He wanted to go inside.
What for?
To go into the Force and explain what was actually the Force. He had a weird idea. So hopefully, like, Kevin Feige doesn't, like, over-explain, like, the Marvel Universe, but at least gives us, like, a multiverse. And, like, different things like Spider-Verse or, like, what-if movies or, like, different things like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was derailing from the topic at hand, which is the plot of Ant-Man and the Wasp, which takes place about 2 years after Civil War.
Yeah.
Scott's been on house arrest for 2 years. It's nearing the end of his sentence.
3 days.
3 days until the end. 3 days until retirement, pretty much.
Yeah.
And then he's starting up a new company with his ex-con buddies called ex-con, which is a security and surveillance company.
That's freaking hilarious.
Yeah, and he's been the best dad ever with Cassie.
Is that a reference to anything?
No, I think it's just...
They were just like, let's throw in ex-con.
Yeah, because it sounds like a cool company, ex-con.
I know, but
to play on
could you see that being in like comics later on?
Probably. I mean, I have no idea if Scott is currently alive or dead. No, he's alive. Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, I was like, wait, he has to be.
Well, he died in like the Children's Crusade, and then in Axis he came back.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a different thing. Yeah, but Scott is back. He's at home. He's on house arrest. Hasn't talked to Hope or Hank in like 2 years.
Just being the best dad he can be.
Just living the best life he can.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's freaking hilarious how he gets like Cassie once in a while, right? And so he like did these crazy things just to entertain her.
Yeah. He's been learning how to do magic. He's been learning like different tricks. He's just tried to be the best dad ever. And with 3 days left on his house arrest, he cannot have any communication with the Pims. He cannot do like any science stuff, no superhero stuff, no shrinking, no growing, nothing.
No talking to ants.
No talking to ants, nothing. But he kind of does break his rules a little bit.
Because he has an experience. He has a moment where he like apparently starts having quantum visions.
Yeah, like dreams of the quantum realm and like Janet talking to him and stuff. And he calls up Hank, and then like just a few days left.
But not only did he get to talk to Janet, he saw himself as Janet. Yes,
he saw himself through her. He saw through her eyes.
Yeah, and he was looking for a voice, like a little girl.
Yeah,
basically.
And it was pretty much a vision of the past. And that really got the attention of Hank and Hope. They get him. And they've been doing their own thing with the quantum realm.
But I find it funny how he like calls them up and he's like, I had a dream where I was your wife. Not like that.
Yeah. Paul Rudd really sells every like weird joke. He makes it funny.
Yeah.
Like he makes it actually work as opposed to being like awkward. Yeah. Well, he makes awkward stuff work.
But yeah, they end up knocking him out, right? And then Hope takes him.
Yeah. And it starts this whole massive adventure of trying to... It's like... How would the best way to describe this movie be? It's a caper. It's a heist movie again, but this time they're stealing from themselves. Well, it's a back and forth because there's a new villain called the Ghost, who's kind of phasing in and out of reality and her sequencing in time. So she's like you see after images of her and like past images of her all at the same time, and she wants the quantum realm technology to cure herself. Meanwhile, they want to save Janet from the quantum realm, so it's like this big back and forth between the two parties. And it actually got pretty interesting. It got really good. I think, well, the whole movie was good, but I think for the action, it got pretty good around the third act.
What? Okay, the action during the time that between the time that Hope gets Scott and they arrive to their office building, right? The big building where he thinks that they don't have money, but then he sees all the quantum shit that they have. He's like, "Whoa, okay, you guys are doing okay." But during that point, we skip to them being on a van going to pick up the last piece they need for the quantum machine.
Yes.
The quantum generator?
The tunnel.
Accelerator or generator? I forget the name for it.
They're trying to build a quantum tunnel thing with like this it's like a weird thing.
Yeah, I know. But like they need that last piece from Sonny Butcher? I forget his name.
Who could have totally easily been Justin Hammer from Iron Man 2. I would love to see Sam Rockwell come back as like Justin Hammer, just to be like this cheap Tony Stark knockoff.
Okay. Yeah, I guess. I don't remember much of Iron Man stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like the last Iron Man movie was like 3 years ago. No, 5 years ago.
But well, I liked it. It was okay. Like, he wasn't a tough-ass villain, that's for sure. But I think that was the point, that he was just a character in the way.
He was a minor inconvenience. Like, every time they try to do something, he's like always there to just be a thorn in their side to like the big threat, which is Ghost and her other associate.
Yeah. For X-Con, I guess that could be their villain.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, X-Con was pretty much facing off against those guys for most of the third act.
Yeah. But between the time that they're trying to get the last piece that they need for the quantum tunnel, Wasp shows up angry because they figured out who she was, and she shows up in her outfit instead.
Yeah.
She leaves and gets back in as Wasp, and she starts kicking all kinds of butts like normal. And then Ghost shows up, and there's still more fighting. And then Ant-Man shows up, and there's still more fighting. There was a lot of intense fighting in this, which was great. I liked it.
Yeah, you're a big choreography person.
So what I'm saying is, there was already a lot of intense fighting in the beginning. We were barely, maybe 20, 25, 30 minutes into it?
Yeah, I say this is like 20 minutes in. And then like, Hope has a good fight scene. Scott does some stuff. He's a little bit bumbling for a little bit of the movie, but he gets his act together. Yeah. He gets back in the groove.
Mm-hmm. Then we move out of that. Then what's the next thing? Oh, Ghost leaves with the thing that they needed. Yeah,
the quantum thingamajig, and everything has quantum everything starts with quantum.
And that's one of Scott's lines too. He's like, "What is it with you guys and quantum? Do you guys just put quantum in front of everything?" Oh my god. I can relate to Scott.
Yeah. When everyone's laying out all this science mumbo jumbo, he's just like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, and he also questions everything that they do. They go to a college campus with like sunglasses and a hat, and they're just like, we don't look like not us. We look like us at a baseball game.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
Yeah, and that's every other Marvel movie disguise. Mm-hmm. And the whole movie kind of like tumbles through like different sequences and different events. Like they need to go to the school to get this, to get to that, to get to this, and they need to meet this person to get the science information that they were just barely at the cusp of finding out. Mm-hmm. There's a whole mess of events that happens, but also ties back into the ending. Like everything builds up to the third act being like a big chase scene and a ticking time bomb. Mm-hmm. Everything works out a little bit too conveniently.
Well, only
because you meet.
I feel like that's a lot. Like that's a lot of Marvel faults.
Yeah,
like Marvel likes doing that. Like the only movie where you felt like you didn't know what was gonna happen was Infinity War, and that was done purposely because you had no idea what was going on. A lot of the Marvel movies lately have been having a lot of spoilers, a lot of leaks, a lot of this, too much information being put out, so you already know the direction of where things are going. With Infinity War, you hardly knew any spoilers. They kept that movie like closed.
Yeah,
like,
they lied to you in the trailer too.
That's a good thing.
Yeah,
I like not knowing what I'm getting myself into. That's why I try to avoid all possible information on Ant-Man. Like, yes, Ant-Man played it safe, but so do all the other movies that connect to other movies, like Black Panther. Black Panther played it safe.
Yeah,
you knew he wasn't gonna die or lose his Black Panther position.
He does in the beginning, or he does in the middle, but you know he's going to get it back by the end.
Yeah.
Everyone has to like falter a little bit.
Yeah.
But
like,
they make it out in the end.
Scott having to deal with a 3-day probation thing.
Yeah. And they find a way to like get him in the house, so like the FBI is there, and they get him just in time back to the house. Like everything is like nick of time, but also works like a Mission Impossible movie, where it's like it's not quite as ridiculous.
Like, how are they going to do it? How are they going to play it out?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know Ethan Hawke is going to make it out alive because he's Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
And you know, like, they're going to make it in the nick of time and nothing wrong is going to happen. So, like, same for this movie. It's like, Scott's going to make it out alive. Everyone's going to be happy by the end.
There was a point where you feel like something's going to get lost.
Yes.
So where Ava? What was her name? Ghost.
Ghost. She's
I
called
think
her
it
Ghost.
was... She has a weird name. Something.
She's also Hispanic.
She's not Hispanic.
She's not?
She's not Hispanic.
Oh. What is she?
She's a mixture. Apparently, in the comics, her father is Egghead.
Oh.
But in this version, they didn't give him that.
Yeah.
Dad is white. Mom is black, I think.
Oh, interesting. Egghead is a big, like, Silver Age Ant-Man villain.
Yeah.
Like, he's a guy who's supposedly so smart, he tried to help a few...
He betrayed Ant-Man, if I remember correctly.
In the movie, yeah. But in the comics, it was like, he's just hired by some gangsters to, like, capture Ant-Man.
Okay.
And, like, he's dumb. Like, he uses technology to try to talk to ants.
So, in the comics, that would be her father. In the movie, I don't know if he was Egghead or not.
Yeah.
But that's her father.
Okay.
She's of that descent, I guess.
All right.
Let me put it that way.
And then Egghead tried to do some quantum stuff, failed, got himself killed, his wife killed, and his daughter forever mutated, kind of.
So basically Cyborg.
Yeah. Kind of like Cyborg. That's
Yeah.
really... Every comic book character has to have like a happy accident happen to them. If you're a villain, it's a much more tragic accident.
Okay. But we're going back to that character. There was a point where she's like, I'm going to absorb all of Janet when they bring her back. So between the time that they're phasing through the tunnel, the quantum tunnel, I can absorb all her energy during that point so I can stop phasing.
Yeah. At one point, you were really concerned that like Janet actually might die.
Yeah.
Because she's played by Michelle Pfeiffer, and it's like, oh, this is a big name actor, but she's not in any of the trailers. She's not really in that much promotional material. And she really isn't she's not in the movie for very long, like in the very beginning and the very end, that's it. So you think to yourself, Hank's gonna lose her.
Again,
it's
like
gonna
all
be
over.
A tragic ending.
Or it's either going to be Hank dying.
Yeah, either one of those two.
Hope was like, I don't want you to die, but I want Mom back. So I was like, Mom's coming back, Hank's dying, bye, sorry.
it's you lose one of your parents, or like both of your parents die, and it's gonna be like
and it's just a tragic down spiral thing going on there.
Yeah, which a lot of the movies have been doing that, where they kill off a character who was like the mentor or like a parent and something like that. Black Panther lost his dad.
And his uncle.
And his uncle.
Wait, was it his uncle? His friend.
His friend. His advisor.
His dad's friend.
Yeah. And also his uncle's friend.
Yeah.
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 So everyone's kind of been losing stuff, especially in Infinity War. And coming right off of that, I was expecting a tragic ending. And we did get
sort of
that.
Yeah, yeah.
But the real ending of the movie is like everyone's happy. Everyone made it out. Yeah. Every character actually got what they wanted. Except for the bad guys.
No, like,
Ghost
got fixed by Janet, sort of, like, just a little bit. And not for her
Janet?
not to... Huh?
Should we explain Janet real quick?
Yes. Okay. You explain it because you know it better than
So back in the 80s, Janet Pym, or Janet Van Dyne, depending on how you want to call it, she gets trapped in the quantum realm.
Yeah, because they were hired to stop a missile.
Yes, they were trying to stop a missile. It was impenetrable. So they go, she shrinks herself down, goes into the quantum realm, which is like the microverse, and pretty much is stuck there for decades, in which she can experience like both past and present, and she's absorbing a lot of energy while she's in there. Ghost wants to absorb all the energy so she could stay fixed in like her position in time. And what they want to do is pretty much just bring Janet out, thanks to the messages in Scott's head. Like it's a message that they can kind of track down her location,
like an antenna.
Like
what they explained.
Like an antenna, like ant antennas.
Yeah.
Kind of. It's a pun, kind of. So at one point in the movie, they do like try to track onto her signal, and Janet speaks through Scott. In like a very great scene where Paul Rudd has to act like Michelle Pfeiffer, and
it's the funniest thing ever. Because it's like every time you say jelly bean, it made me laugh.
We know it's Paul Rudd, and we know it's Paul Rudd acting, but like all the characters just reacting like it's Michelle Pfeiffer and being like, "Oh, Mom, you're back." It's like, "Oh, sweetie."
Oh, jelly bean. I already knew. You're so smart.
And then, like, when Scott wakes out of it, he's like, "No, I'm getting nothing." It's like holding hands with Hank Pym. It's just like, are you okay?
Yeah.
Or are you holding my hand? Did I miss something?
Yeah, that's a pretty funny part. I like that.
Yeah, but the whole point of like Janet is like saying she's evolved now, like she's different than before.
Yeah, she's like the quantum changes you.
Yeah, and at one point I thought I saw like a little bubble city in the quantum realm with like skyscrapers and stuff, which might have been nothing, or it might have been like some secret civilization that like Janet founded or something, or that Janet was running away from, because her wings look damaged.
Which her whole entire outfit was damaged.
Yeah.
If you notice, she was just walking around there.
Yeah, but if you remember from the first Ant-Man movie, she was flying through the quantum realm.
Yeah.
So unless like time works very differently there,
which it does,
like her suit was damaged like in the what might have felt like decades there, or like it was damaged recently.
So do you think she accidentally herself like jumped into some of those timelines? Maybe,
or maybe she got caught up in some other stuff. Maybe there's a micro civilization out there and they don't like Janet. I don't know. I'm just thinking of plot lines that could be in Ant-Man 3.
Multiverses!
Yeah. Speaking of Ant-Man 3, let's talk about Avengers 4.
Okay.
Spoilers, by the way. If you did not see Ant-Man, if you did not see Ant-Man and the Wasp, you're going to be lost.
Or if you decided not to stay for the ending credits.
Yes. If you're like those people who just come to the movie because they're like, oh, I might enjoy this, and you walk out because you don't know it's a Marvel movie, just, you know what? Stick around if you want to hear it, but if you don't want to hear it, you can just like click off the video. We're pretty much done talking about Ant-Man at this point. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Talk about this video, share it with all your friends, give us a thumbs up, but we're going to get into the after credits now. Okay, so after like the very happy ending that was Ant-Man and the Wasp, Scott's out of his probation. He's with Cassie. He's being a great dad. Hope and her parents are together. Everyone's having a great time. Apparently the business is doing very well because they stopped some criminals, some super criminals. Everyone's in jail who deserves to be in jail. Everyone's like out of quantum phasing who deserves to be out of quantum phasing. And we have the after credits, which is more research with the quantum realm. Like they've miniaturized the tunnel so it fits in the back of a van. Hope, Janet, and Hank are doing experiments with Scott being the probe, and he's going to collect some quantum energies for them to research. So he gets sent to the quantum realm, which is so tiny it actually is it's outside of the universe, and possibly outside of the multiverse too. And when he's in there, that's when Thanos snaps his fingers.
Yeah. They were like already counting down to 3 and they're wait, but there's also a point where like Janet explains something to him.
Yes, pretty much to stay out of time something or others, which would be like the past and future colliding or something.
That's what you're taking it as, but I want to take it as multiverses, like different timelines.
Yeah, possibly. Like it could be interpreted different ways. We won't know until Avengers 4.
Yeah.
But it could be like multiverses or like
past and present,
different timelines that he could affect that wouldn't have an effect on the present but could affect something else. So Scott is pretty much stuck in the quantum realm when the Thanos snaps happens, which could have saved him technically since he's outside the universe and Thanos just wants to bring change to the universe. So Hope, Janet, and Hank are vaporized, and that pretty much leaves him without a way to get back. So he's in the same predicament Janet's stuck in, but he's a little bit scrappier. I think like he would be daring enough to just like jump into like any time stream. Like if he saw, let's say, Cassie as a teenager, like he would definitely go into that time stream just because he saw it as a way out. But it could be like another timeline or like another...
Can you imagine him like jumping into a different timeline where Cassie is Stature, right?
Yeah, Stature.
Right? When she's part of the Young Avengers?
Yeah.
Right? It goes into that one because I'm a huge fan of the Young Avengers and Runaways during the time there was a Civil War. Right? So you imagine him like jumping in there and it's another goddamn Civil War?
Oh, man. And that, yeah. Like a different universe where the Civil War never ended.
Yeah.
Or like where the Thanos thing didn't happen.
Yeah.
And it's just like the two Avengers teams fighting constantly.
Yeah. Or like how it was between Avengers and X-Men now that they have...
Oh, yeah.
X-Men.
They could totally have like a multiverse or a separate universe where the Fantastic Four and X-Men are there.
Yeah.
And Scott, he's like the Flash. He's the Barry Allen of all this. And he puts those two universes together.
Maybe. Would it be like, what's it called? Is it Secret Wars? Is that when all the worlds just start colliding?
Yeah, Secret Wars 2015 is like the battle world.
Yeah.
Like all the multiverses, all the different universes are kind of like stitched together to create one world. That could be a thing. But I think the Russo brothers want Secret Wars
to be a later
to be
thing?
like Avengers 5 or 6.
Oh boy.
Yeah. I think that's what their plan was.
Okay.
And that was the way of getting X-Men cameos and Fantastic Four cameos.
Mm-hmm.
Because as the MCU stands right now, I think Kevin Feige doesn't want both to connect right now. Because he's got too much on his plate.
I just want there to be more than the movies that we have now.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's why I want there to be multiverses. It's because I want more young actors to get involved in the MCU.
Yeah.
Like, they need young actors to make these MCU survive. Because most of these characters or actors, their contracts are going to end pretty soon.
Yeah.
A lot like how Chris Evans' contract, he's just like, I'm done.
Yeah, after Avengers 4, he's done. Chris Hemsworth, I think he's staying on because he likes being Thor.
Yeah.
And he likes being buff.
He's like, this is a great workout routine for me.
Yeah, there's rumors that Robert Downey Jr. will die. Iron Man's going to be killed off. There's rumors that Mark Ruffalo is going to just not be the Hulk anymore.
What would he be? Just a scientist?
Just, I don't know. It's
Bruce Banner, the movie.
Yeah, because from Thor Ragnarok to, well, kind of technically from Age of Ultron to Avengers 4, like, so Mark Ruffalo has this big story arc going on.
Would Bruce Banner just be the new Tony Stark?
Like, inventor guy, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Inventor guy who's not as good as the other inventor guy.
He creates the next Iron Man, which is Riri.
Maybe. It'd be interesting to see, like, what new characters they actually bring about.
That's why I'm saying they need younger actors, like Tom Holland. Yeah. They got him at a perfect time.
Yeah, he's like, what, 21 now?
And I feel like anybody who hates Tom Holland has issues. Because I really like Tom Holland. He's a young actor, and he portrays Peter Parker pretty well. Oh, yeah. And I never liked Spider-Man before because of the actors that were playing them before. And I did like Spider-Man for a while, like, from what I knew about comics and cartoons. Because my parents loved, like, X-Men cartoons and Spider-Man. So that Spider-Man was hilarious to me. The other two, like Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire and...
Andrew Garfield.
Andrew Garfield, Amazing Spider-Man, was not my thing.
Yeah. But Tom Holland, I think, is the best distillation of every version. Like, he's young, he's awkward, he's down on his luck, and he's never the cause of his own bad luck. He's always, like, something bad just happens to him, and he deals with it. Rather than, like...
Well, he is the cause of his own bad luck, too.
Yeah. He's
a little arrogant at times because he's young. He thinks he can do everything just because he has powers.
Yeah. Some misfortunes could be his fault. Yeah. But, like, the bad luck he gets from just being like, oh, my costume doesn't fit right. Or, like, since Tony Stark is his mentor in the MCU, he has less misfortune. But, like, classic Spider-Man would be like, oh, my suit ripped. I don't have a way of fixing it. Or, like, it's winter in New York City, and I wear long johns and nothing else. Like, I'm going to freeze to death out here. Things like that. Yeah. Where he's just, misfortune happens to him rather than, like, he causes his own problems all the time. Like, he can cause, like, 25% of his problems, but not 100%.
Okay, we're derailing really badly.
But also Ant-Man and Peter are kind of like the same in a way.
If they're just goofy characters who are just trying to live the best life they can.
Yeah. If they never got the rights to Spider-Man, I think Ant-Man would be the perfect way of being like, this is adult Peter Parker in a way.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah.
Except without all the ex-con shit.
Yeah. If it weren't for being an ex-con, he would pretty much just be the slapstick, quippy little guy who's like, some heroes dislike him, some heroes really are like, tolerate him, and that's about it.
Can you imagine though a bachelor Peter Parker with a little Cassie?
That would be weird.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I like where the MCU is going with Peter Parker. Yeah. I think you brought up a really good idea of the multiverse. Like,
it would be great.
Instead of the Marvel Cinematic Universe,
we need younger actors in.
Yeah, it's a cinematic multiverse. So you get like Spider-Verse. You have like all these cameos from different Spider characters. You have cameos from like the X-Men, Fantastic Four. Yeah. You have like the Netflix people could come in.
No! As long as a new writer takes over.
Yeah, I mean, it would have to be someone who like...
Cause I'm not gonna lie, like I have huge problems with like I like the Netflix actors. They did good with Netflix actors. But then we have Hulu.
Yeah, I mean... I like Runaways. That's the only Hulu show
but
so far. But
you don't read Runaways. That's why you like it.
Yeah.
And that's probably the only reason we like Ant-Man as well, is because we didn't read, like, solo Ant-Man. I read Ant-Man in the Ultimate Universe.
Yeah.
Like, I know that Ant-Man, and that's Hank Pym, though.
Yeah, and he also beats his wife. I'm glad
they didn't take that.
Yeah, I was about to say.
What if we do get into a universe where Hank Pym is a wife beater and a wife killer?
And the creator of Ultron. Oh man. Ant-Man 3, just go through all the negative timelines.
He's like, nope.
Have this weird universe where like Hank Pym fuses with Ultron, beats his wife, like Hope doesn't even exist.
Well, in the Ultimate... Hank Pym fuses with Ultron in the Ultimate Universe?
No, in the current universe.
Okay, in the current universe, which is the one that's going on right now, right?
Yeah, in the 616.
All right. But in the Ultimate Universe, he literally tries to kill his wife. His wife comes back.
Yeah.
And I think she dies still, though. She comes back for revenge.
She gets eaten, though.
But she does come back for revenge.
Yes.
And, like, spoils everything about him, and nobody trusts him anymore.
Mm-hmm. And after that...
And then Bruce, everybody puts the fault on Bruce Banner, too, and they want to kill him, and they have him arrested with a whole bunch of villains, but he breaks out, blah, blah, blah. He kills a whole bunch of people. Thor is trashed there. Oh, boy! I want the Ultimates universe! I just want everybody to, like, hate these characters. I hated the Ultimate Universe, but I loved reading it because it was way different than I expected.
Yeah. I think if you go for, like, the dark, edgy Ultimates, like, that could be a timeline or a universe that Scott visits and it's like, what's going on?
Just take the Scarlet Witch from there and be like, I need you in this universe. Oh, the
Scarlet Witch that has incestual sex with her brother?
Stop. Either way, I mean, she's still powerful there.
Yeah. I mean, this is all speculation about things that could happen.
These are just things that we're throwing out there.
Yeah, it's not anything confirmed like, oh my god, did you hear that this is going to happen for sure? Like that Scott's going to meet Captain America who's slightly racist and homophobic?
What?
Ultimates.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that makes sense. That'd be great. I really want him to meet the Ultimates now. Because, okay, so... Thor is literally a womanizer. That's all he is.
Yeah. He's also...
He wears, like, I guess, like, Hawaiian t-shirts in it, if I remember correctly. I read this so long ago, I can't even remember most of the things. Then there's also Asian Loki in it.
Yeah, there's a Chinese Loki. A lot of stuff in the Ultimates is, like, questioning whether or not people have powers or are actually good guys. Like, in the Ultimate Universe, people think Thor is a hobo with, like, weird... technology from Hammer.
Oh, yeah.
Some people think Professor Xavier actually mind controls the X-Men to do, like, his bidding. It's, like, weird stuff like that.
I'm thinking, like, this is a universe where Tony Stark doesn't get with Pepper Potts, and it's actually Natasha. Natalie?
Natasha.
Natasha, yeah. I forget her name. Black Widow.
Yeah, I don't know. Enough Ultimate Universe. I think we could do a whole thing about how we hate the Ultimate Universe.
It's so great, though.
And the only genuinely good thing is Spider-Man. Yeah.
Yeah. But that'd be great. I'm just throwing out universes there, and it'd be great.
If we do like a what if movie, because they could totally just be like, what if Peter Parker was different? Like, what if Tony Stark never recruited Peter?
I don't want them to do a what if movie, because if they just do one what if, I'm going to be really upset, because they should do multiple what ifs.
They should make it a triple feature or a quadruple feature where it's like they have the narrative of the Watcher being like, and these are universes that could have existed. And it's like, what if Peter was never recruited by Tony Stark?
But I don't think they would do what ifs for like movies, like connect, because people would get it confused with the MCU that they already created. Yeah. The only way if they release it to Netflix.
Or if they do a thing where it's like they introduce the multiverse and the concept of different universes. Mm-hmm. So people who are more casual, if they watch this one movie, like...
They wouldn't make enough money off of it.
That's why they make it a smaller budget movie. That's the cool thing about Ant-Man. Ant-Man isn't this big $300 million budget movie. It's like $100 and something million budget.
Really?
Yeah. Like, it's not a movie where they spent $1 trillion on. Like, the budget for Avengers 3 and 4 together is $1 billion.
Damn.
But it's going to gross, like, double that.
I know, because the third one already, like...
Yeah, the third one already made, like, over $1 billion.
Yeah.
So for Ant-Man and movies like that, they could have a small, like, 100-something million, but they could gross, like, $500 million and still make a big profit. Mm-hmm. So as long as these movies make more than they actually cost to make, it'll be fine. Like, if they have, let's say, a really small scale... pun, Ant-Man 3, it'll still probably make more than it costs to make.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So if they have a what if that's like, maybe the budget of Deadpool 2, I'm sure it could make enough money to like justify that. And if they have cameos from like different people, like, oh, RDJ comes in to do this quick cameo because it takes place in the past.
Okay.
Yeah. Or just be like, what if Bruce Banner went evil? Or what if Edward Norton played Bruce Banner in the Avengers?
No, I don't want to say that.
Just like dumb things like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do a lot like a Deadpool thing?
Yeah. What if could be like a Deadpool thing.
Okay.
Where it's like making jokes at the MCU and also being like, but honestly, what would it be like if...
I feel like you're just talking like a fanboy right now. I don't think that would be a possible thing.
Yeah. It would be as possible as like a live action Spider-Verse.
I want that though.
I know. I want it too. I want like really weird like...
But not yet.
Tobey Maguire as Uncle Ben.
Because, okay, we can't have a Spider-Verse yet because we still haven't even been introduced to Spider-Man from the Ultimate Universe, which is Miles Morales, or Peter Parker from the Ultimate Universe. We still haven't been introduced to Gwen, which is during the time that they were dating, she dies, blah, blah, blah. And if we have a Spider-Verse where they meet Spider-Gwen, and they have a weird interaction, I'm just going to be like, this is throwing me off.
I mean... They've pretty much made Tom Holland like sort of like Ultimate Spider-Man a little bit. So to introduce him to maybe like a much more older Peter Parker, introduce like this young Peter to an older Peter, introduce some elements from other things like Spider-Man Noir or like 2099. You could get that in like the third movie maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. Or fourth movie. I want like 12 Tom Holland movies. I'm not counting Avengers either. I want like 12 solo Spider-Man movies. Like, when Robert Downey Jr. signed on for Iron Man, he said he wanted to do, like, 14 sequels.
Oh, boy.
And now if you include, like, Avengers and Captain America.
And Spider-Man.
And Spider-Man, I think it's going to be, like, 8 movies?
He still has 6 more to go?
Yeah. Wait, no. Oh, geez. He's done a lot more. He's 3 Iron Man movies. Then you have The Incredible Hulk, the 3 Avengers movies so far.
Wait, he was in Incredible Hulk?
He was at the end. So yeah, the 3 Avengers movies, Captain America Civil War, Spider-Man, Avengers 4. That's 10 movies already.
Okay, so he has 4 to go.
Yeah. 4 more until he reaches his goal.
I feel like the Incredible Hulk cameo does not count.
I feel like it does.
Okay.
I feel like it does.
ruining my life here.
Yeah. I mean, it's 10 movies, 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah. Who knows? He could be in Captain Marvel, too.
I see that happening very
Yeah.
strongly.
I see, like, a young Sam Jackson, young Coulson, and young RDJ just being a cameo, being, like, hiring Pepper Potts or something.
Maybe.
Young Gwyneth Paltrow.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't want to think about Captain Marvel.
Yeah, not yet. Not until the
yet.
first trailer.
My brain hurts thinking about this movie.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I think that's it for the Ant-Man and the Wasp discussion.
Oh, this was an Ant-Man and Wasp discussion?
Yeah, it wasn't just a random MCU topic video. No. All right. So that's us from Nerd Boy Comics signing out. We'll see you guys next time.
Laters.